It was, I believe it was April 27th, 2011. He was in Afghanistan at Kabul Air Base, and that's when there was a shooting. And it was middle of the night in our time zone, and I got a call at my mother's house. I happened to be there in Arizona. My father was very ill, and I was there while he was in the hospital, and I got a call on her house phone to get on Skype right now.
Well, I was sleeping, my buddy woke me up, alarms were going off, and that's typical, mortars and stuff happen now and then. So I got woken up and said, hey, there's a shooter, active shooter on base. He already took out 2 pilots, or 2 U.S. Members. We don't know where he's at, we're hunkering down. So grab your 9mm and your body armor, and I was like, all right. So I knew CNN is notorious for getting information within seconds of us getting the information, so I knew she'd see it. And she likes to worry, naturally.
He was telling me there's something going on, there's alarms going off, and then they cut the video feed. So we couldn't even, I couldn't see him, but we were able to Skype via text back and forth. And it was terrifying to know that what was going on and that I had no control.
If you don't keep that line of communication open, then it's on her. She's sitting here worrying, freaking out, contacting people, throwing up red flags and sirens and stuff. It didn't need to happen at that point. So it was more peace of mind for her. I know how she is. She's my mother. I knew she'd be freaking out, and she always worried about me just being in that part of the world anyways.
I asked him where his sidearm was. I asked him where his armor was. I asked him who was searching for the bad guys, how many were there, and it was terrifying. At the same time, I'm Skyping him via text. I'm on the CNN website trying to get updates because they're usually the quickest updates. It's
kind of like, hey, we got it. There's a shooter. Don't know where he's at. Got my body armor. I have my 9mm. I'm in a building with a bunch of trained guys also. I think we'll be okay. But just let you know, he's not in my building. Nothing like that.
So at the end of that conversation, when I knew he was safe, although it cut off abruptly, I cut and pasted that dialogue into a Word document and saved it, because to me that was a piece of history. And several U.S. military lost their lives in that event. One from Edmonds, Washington. So kind of scary, but and it really brings it home that this is real, and these kids are in danger.
So it was minor in comparison to the everyday life, where that's one guy on his own. Someone's gonna take care of him. When I got 200 guys in the field that I'm solely responsible for. Me and my team are solely responsible for getting aircraft to them. Very minuscule on the, all things considered.
But for me to be able to put myself in that place and understanding the duty that you feel when you're serving, for me it brought me comfort to know where he was at, that he had, ammunition, that there was other people there. For me it was better, but for a mother that has never served, or a father who's never served and doesn't understand that call, it would be horrifying. I think it would be a lot worse. For me, I think it was easier.